If you've been watching the Madison real estate market and you're thinking the west side is where all the action happens, I want to introduce you to the east and southeast side of Madison today, because there are 3 towns here that buyers are starting to figure out fast. And once word really gets out, the opportunity you have right now might look a little different. Today we are talking about Cottage Grove, McFarland, and Stoughton. And if those names don't mean much to you yet, by the end of this video, they will. The first town is Cottage Grove. Cottage Grove has this reputation for being quiet and a little off the radar. And that's exactly why buyers who do their homework end up living here. It sits just east of Madison. You're talking maybe 15 to 20 minutes to get into the city. And what you get for that short drive is space, newer construction, and a quality of life that people in the middle of Madison might be jealous of. There's a small downtown, a growing sense of community, and it has that feel of a place that knows it's becoming something more. Like the people there are in on the secret, and the local scene backs that up. Coast Fork Brewing and Feed is a family-owned brewery right on Main Street that started as an organic farm, and it's become a genuine community hub, and it actually just won a National Small Business Award. And there's also a brand new brewery that's coming soon called Near and Far. I believe its plans are to open by the end of this year. That kind of investment doesn't happen in a town that's just standing still. What I'm seeing from a housing perspective is a nice mix. Newer subdivisions, established neighborhoods, and some larger lot properties for people who really want the breathing room. Now be careful, because there are certain areas in Cottage Grove, and maybe all of it actually, you guys let me know down in the comments if you live there, where you're not allowed to have a fenced-in yard. So if that is important to you, let's make sure we are checking that first. Cottage Grove is usually the town that makes buyers go, wait, why didn't we look at this sooner? There were 123 homes sold last year, and they ranged from the low 300s all the way up into the low millions. The median price was $530,000, and it keeps inching upward, which tells you exactly where the market is heading. It's still accessible. It won't always be. And actually, you guys, if neighborhood tour content is something you want to see, Cottage Grove is absolutely on my list. I would love to do a deeper dive. So if that's something you're interested in, please drop it down in the comments below. The second town is McFarland. And McFarland is one of those places that once someone actually visits, they can't believe they weren't considering it from the start. It sits right on Lake Wabiza, which, I mean, come on, you're getting lakeside living, access to Madison, and prices that still make sense. This combination is special. What's drawing buyers here is the lifestyle. People are done compromising on it. They want the water, the trails, and the slower pace. But they don't want to give up everything that comes with being close to a real city. McFarland is the answer. This community has a really tight-knit feel, and you can see it in the local spots. McFarland House Cafe is one of my favorites to mention. Whenever I go to McFarland, I head there. It's a neighborhood coffee shop and cafe inside an 1856 historic home on Exchange Street. Locally sourced menu, garden patio, super cute and quaint. It's exactly the kind of place that makes you understand why people who move here never want to leave. And in the summer, the town runs Bands by the Boardwalk and a monthly food truck frenzy at Arnold Larson Park. This is a free community event that draws people together. That stuff matters when you're thinking about where you actually want to live. From a housing perspective, you'll find everything from more modest established homes to some really beautiful properties near the lake. Price points may vary a lot depending on what part of McFarland you're in, which is something I always want my buyers to understand before they start searching. Location within a town matters just as much as the town itself. In 2025, 164 homes sold, ranging from the high 200s all the way over to the $2 million price point, with the median house price coming in at $470,000. The lake access alone puts McFarland in a category by itself. There are not many places around Madison where you can have that, and it absolutely affects the value of your home long term. And the third town, and this one might surprise you, is Stoughton. Stoughton is having a moment. It's been a little further off the radar than some of the other Madison suburbs, partly because of where it sits. You're about 20 to 25 minutes south of Madison, but that distance is starting to matter a lot less to buyers, especially for anyone who's a hybrid worker or fully remote. What Stoughton has going for it is character. Like, actual character. It has a real downtown with historic buildings, local businesses, and this Norwegian heritage that the community genuinely leans into. It makes it really fun. It doesn't feel like every other suburb. It feels like a place with a personality. And I mean that literally when it comes to their downtown area. The Stoughton Opera House sits at the top of Main Street, and it draws tens of thousands of visitors every year. National and international performers, the whole thing. They call it Southern Wisconsin's most charming theater, and it earns it. Then you've got the Viking Brew Pub with its custom Viking ship bar, Wendigo, which is a farm-to-table spot with a rotating menu, and the whole town shuts down every spring for Sitten and Mai, for the Sitten and Mai. I'm probably not pronouncing that very well. Sitten and Mai. This day is the Norwegian Constitution Day that is a celebration that people come from all over. This is not just a suburb that blends in, it stands out on its own, and Stoughton is still one of the most accessible options in the area. You are getting significantly more home for your money than you would in a lot of the comparable towns closer to Madison. Buyers keep going there because of the lower price point, lower taxes, and a better quality of life. The mix of housing here is good. Established neighborhoods, some newer construction coming in, and older homes with the kind of character you just can't replicate. If you're the kind of buyer who wants a home that actually has some soul to it, Stoughton is worth a serious look. As I make this video today, I think Stoughton is the most underrated town on this list, and I think that changes soon. In 2025, we saw 267 homes sold, ranging from the 2000s up to the 2 million, with the median price range coming in at 420,000. So if I had to break it down, Cottage Grove is for the buyer who wants newer construction, space, and a short drive to Madison without paying the Madison prices. McFarland is for the buyer who wants lifestyle, lake access, community feel, and that quality of life that is really hard to put a price on. And Stoughton is for the buyer who wants value, character, and to feel like they're in a separate town, but they're part of this town that still has room to grow. I have worked with buyers and run many open houses in all of these places, and every time I go there, they always look a little bit different. They are always growing. So I'm curious, which one would you choose? Cottage Grove, McFarland, or Stoughton? Tell me in the comments below. And if you already live in one of these towns, please jump in and share from your perspective. I love getting everyone's perspectives down in the comments. I'd love to hear what your day-to-day actually feels like living there. Also, neighborhood tour videos. It's starting to get warmer outside, so I'm thinking about doing a neighborhood tour video for each of these, like an actual walkthrough, and talk about specific streets and the neighborhood feel and the homes and the businesses. If that sounds helpful for you, the viewer, let me know down in the comments, because that video is going to take a bit more effort and I want to make sure it's something that you actually want to see. And if you're thinking about making a move to the Madison area and want to figure out which one of these towns fits your life best, reach out to me. That is what I'm good at. It's never too early to have that first conversation, and I genuinely love helping people find the right fit for them. My info is down in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.